Hi, I'm John from Bike Social. Now, I recently sold my KTM through wewantyourmotorbike.com, and the guy who came and picked it up, I was so impressed with how quickly and efficiently he checked it over. I wanted to find out how they do it. So I'm here with Rob. He trains the 50 mechanics they've got going around the country checking the bikes out. Now, they're all motorcyclists. This is Rob's own bike, so he's going to show us what to do to find out if you're buying a pup or a good one. So Rob, I'm going to leave you to it.
Nice.
Cheers.
It does come in handy if you've got a voltmeter, a tread gauge, just for the tyres, just to make sure there's enough tread on there, and a little work light, just to go around the bike, just to find any nicks and knacks. So first of all, I'm going to make a start on the electrics. So to do that, I'm going to start the bike up. And then what I'm going to do is just go through each switch gear on both sides separately, checking out the indicators front and back, making sure all the LEDs are actually working, checking the headlights, checking the high beam, the flasher, all good, and the parking light. Check the ABS switch, check the trip switch, make sure all the instruments are working on the clocks, it's all turning over nicely, and the horn. It's a good horn. Moving over to the next switch gear, turn the heated grips on. Let's give it a quick rev just to get them warmed up a little bit quicker. Yeah, both of them are nicely working. Now we're going to actually use the cut-off switch, the safety cut-off switch, just to make it actually work, make sure it's working. Also check the side stand switch. That is a safety switch, that needs to be working as well. So, side stand down, hold of the front brake just in case anything happens, put it in gear, and it should conk out. Fire it back up again. Starting it 3 times is a good indicator that the battery is actually good. If it struggled to start on that third go, the battery might be a little bit weak, so maybe worth changing that. Checking the rear brake. All good. Number plate light. That's all good there. So I'm happy about all the lights. What I'm going to do now is just check the voltage on the battery. Using the voltmeter. Should be around 14 volts when the bike's running on idle. Just give it a little rev. Make sure it goes up a little bit. Now you can turn the bike off, that's all good. When you're checking the electrics, you've also got a couple of additions to the bike. So there's a TomTom sat-nav adapter right here. I haven't got the TomTom for it, so I can't check that. There's also an Autocom unit, which I could check, but I haven't got the helmet for it. There is spotlights on the front, so you really want to just give those a quick check. The left one works, but the right one doesn't. So we need to maybe make an adjustment in price for that. Okay, so I've just checked out all the electrics. I'm more than happy with that. So now I'm going to work my way around the bike. I'm actually going to start on this front corner here and just check the tread depth on the tyres. The minimum tread depth that it should be is 1 millimetre, but we like it to be about 2 millimetre. Then we don't have to change them if we don't have to. So check it in the centre. Check it on the sides, so I'm more than happy with that front tyre being good. Just going to have a quick butchers around it and make sure that everything's okay. No cracks in there. Check the date stamp on the tyre. Old tyres do tend to perish, they tend to crack. Check for any punctures, any plugs in there. We don't like plugs in there at all. While I'm turning it, I'm just checking that rim as well, just to make sure there's no buckles in the rim. While you're checking the tyre, just check the valve as well, make sure there's no splits in it or any cracks. It's all good. It's good round that side. That's a good tyre. I'm going to move to the back. Same again on the back tyre, looking for any plugs, any perishing from age. Again, just checking that valve. Everybody forgets about the valve. If it's got a crack in it or anything like that, could go on you while you're out. Checking the rim. Make sure there's no dents in it. Looks all good to me, that. Now I'm going to start moving around the bike, but I'm going to work in sections. So it's easier if I just work from the top down to the bottom, then from the top down to the bottom, just doing each section as I go along. Checking the fork seals. Checking around the fork seals, obviously just making sure there's no leaks. Check the dust seals. That's quite a good dust seal in that. These have recently been changed. Nice and dry, nothing wrong with those. Are the forks straight? Is there any accident damage? While I'm at the front here, just going to check these brakes out. Check the brake pads. There's about 4mm on the brake pads up the front. There's no pitting to the discs. There's no cracks on the discs. Looks good. There's no ridge at the top. Check for any looseness in the discs. If they wobble, make a noise, could be a sign of harsh braking or just wear. Check the pipes out, make sure that's all good. So I'm happy with that section of the bike. I'm just moving on to this section here. Obviously you've got the engine in this block here, so you're looking for any oil leaks or anything like that. Checking the rocker cover gasket all around the edge. There's no oil leaks on that rocker, that's pretty good. Engine itself has got a little bit of corrosion up the front here, probably lack of cleaning. Engine bars, are they tight? Have they been taken off? Are they bent? Has it been dropped and bashed? All looks good. Exhaust itself, very good condition, it's fine. Just having a look at the bodywork, the panelling. Just give it a feel, make sure it's all tight. Make sure there's nothing loose. Any of the lugs broken or anything like that can obviously cost money in the long run. Check the pegs, see if they're bent. This is one of the first things that does hit the ground sometimes when you go down. So make sure that's all nice and straight. Levers, make sure they're nice and straight. Fluids, make sure your brake fluids are all topped up. And check the colour as well. It's got like a T type colour, then it needs changing, to be honest. This is a shaft driven bike. Obviously no need for a chain, no need for any adjustment or anything like that. Again, rear brake pads, rear brake disc. Just give it a quick nosy, make sure you've got enough meat on there. It's about 2 or 3mm each side on the pads. The disc itself is in good condition. Checking the back end, does it actually look straight? So has it had any crash damage or anything? Is it bent over on one side? But that looks nice and straight. Again, just give it a feel, give it a tug, make sure everything's all nice and tight. It's all good. Okay, while I've got access to the whole of the wheel, I'm going to check the wheel bearings out and just make sure they're okay on the hub. A little bit of a rocky movement backwards and forwards. Just move the wheel round and do exactly the same again. One more time. That's all right, is that. Just checking the exhaust system out, making sure that's all nice and solid. All looks good, no corrosion on it. No holes or anything like that for it to blow out of. Next thing I'm going to check is the head bearings up the top there. Okay, checking the head bearings. Really, I need that front wheel off the ground. So I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure on the back and just raise it off. And just move that steering from side to side. Feeling for any notchiness or anything that's going to actually just stop it from moving. It's nice and smooth, that. There's no problems there at all. Just going to get down the front. Just give it a quick pull on the front wheel, just make sure there's no movement in the bottom bearing. That's pretty good. Again, just move it from side to side. There's no notchiness there at all, it's a good bearing. Okay, that's the headstock checked. I'm just checking out the wheel bearings right now. Again, just moving it round. Just giving it a tilt from top to bottom. Yeah, they feel good. Now, this is quite handy because I've got a centre stand to put it down. But if you haven't got a centre stand, you may be able to jack the bike up, get a little hydraulic jack in there. Just put it on the framework or put it on the exhaust pipes. We can just jack it up. It won't damage them, it should be okay. If you haven't got that, see if you can get an assistant, maybe just to pull the bike over just a little bit so you can get a little bit of movement there. Or put it on a smooth surface and just do the best you can. Sometimes it can be quite hard. Okay, we've checked the bike on the lower side of things, made sure the electrics work, made sure everything else is okay, the brakes, the tyres, the wheels. Now we're going to listen to the engine, we're going to listen to the gears, we're going to just flick through them. But to do that, I just need to take it off the stand, sit on it and just feel through the bike. So I'm going to take it off the stand now. And we're just going to start the bike up. We're just going to have a bit of a press on the brakes just to make sure everything's okay there. That feels good, that feels nice and tight, doesn't feel spongy at all. Same with the rear brake, that's good. Now to test the ABS, on this. I really am going to have to take it just for a little test ride, but I'll have to do that out of the camera. So, but all we're really looking for is just riding it at about 10 miles an hour for even about 10-20 yards, just to see that ABS light come off. That's all it takes. Just for now, I'm just going to flip through the gears, pull the clutch in, put it in first gear, just give it a little rev, a little bit of the clutch out and just feel it pull forward. Feels good, doesn't feel too far out or too far in. Back up in second, same thing again, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth and sixth. Gone through all the gears on that, let the clutch out, let it bite, let it feel, just pull it forward. Yeah, feels good. Back into neutral, bite back on the stand, and then turn it off. So this is a chain and sprocket that has previously been took off a bike. It is worn. Best way to check a chain and sprocket is this is a rear sprocket. Just put as much tension as you possibly can on the chain there. Usually you're grabbing it against the swing arm and then just pull the chain away from the rear of the sprocket. If it moves like that, then that is worn. That is one thing that we would change over. Same thing with the belt. This is the belt sprocket. It's got a bit of wear on the inside there. It looks like it's had a few stone chips going through the belt at the same time. You've got quite a few lumps out of it, a few chips out of it. The belt itself is in bad condition as well. It's got a few cracks in it. It's got a few dents in it as well, so we would change that as well. Okay, the last thing to check, make sure all the keys fit all the locks. So you want to be checking the ignition again, check the petrol cap, check the under seat, check the luggage box key, make sure the luggage box actually does come off, so just check all the accessories. Then start checking the frame number, the engine number, they all got to match the V5, what's on the V5. So at this point, everything's all done, everything's all checked. I'm happy with buying this bike from the customer. All it is a case of now is just doing the paperwork, signing all that, and then the money's getting transferred over to his account. He's happy, we're happy, we've got a good bike, and that's pretty much it.